Welcome, I'm Matthew Phelps, co-author of the Turning to God's Word Bible study, The Letter to the Hebrews, an explanation of the mechanism of our salvation. Today we'll be talking about lesson 16 of our study, which covers the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 11, verses 32 to 40. And what more shall I say? For time would fail me to tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, of David and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, enforced justice, received promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched raging fire, escaped the edge of the sword, won strength out of weakness, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. Women received their dead by resurrection. Some were tortured, refusing to accept release, that they might rise again to a better life. Others suffered mocking and scourging, and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn in two, they were killed with the sword. They went about in skins of sheep and goats, destitute, afflicted, ill-treated, of whom the world was not worthy, wandering over deserts and mountains, and in dens and caves of the earth. In the past several lessons, we've been talking specifically by name of some of the major and early figures of the Old Testament, and explaining how it is that their faith led them to do the model things that they did, in order to further support the point that, hey, we are followers of Jesus. We have something amazing available to us, and in order to receive it, we have to act accordingly. The whole thrust of the book of the letter to the Hebrews is moral, although the author spends quite a lot of time delving into some theological points. It's always to support the moral point. A, one, get your act together. B, keep it together in order to receive the thing that has been promised. It's not enough to get excited about Jesus once. It's a long and sometimes arduous journey, but one that has just immense reward. So here in this section we continue the idea of walking through the fathers of our faith, but the author seems to have realized the scope of the project that was started, talking about everybody by name, and says, yeah, you don't have time to tell you about all of these people. Here's a list of some names and a bunch of really cool things people did because of faith that, by the way, why would someone do in the Old Testament? It's a great thing that they did it. Cool. And just kind of, we get the Cliff's Notes version of amazing things were done in the name of faith, even in the Old Testament. So great. Again, reinforcing the point, so what are we doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? This is all in the letter to the Hebrews. It always has to come back to, what am I doing? And all these, though well attested by their faith, did not receive what was promised, since God had foreseen something better for us, that apart from us, they should not be made perfect. So the way we wrap up this story of all of these great Old Testament models of faith is none of them received the fullness of what God was offering. Despite all of these amazing and marvelous things that they did, none of them received the fullness that Jesus Christ came to offer to us, and that we, living in a Christian world, have available to us. So, as cool as it is to read about all of these Old Testament figures and as wonderful of models as they were and are, we have something greater. Which, of course, is a great transition into the next lesson where we'll add Jesus on top of the list. So, by all means, stay tuned for that. This has been a summary of Lesson 16 of the Turning to God's Word Bible study, the letter to the Hebrews, an explanation of the mechanism of our salvation. For more information, consult our written study or visit our online forums at turningtogodsword.com.